greet you and I say I hope you are keeping safe. I hope you are living in peace. I hope you are enjoying sanity. I hope you are happy. Happy because in this world we have different issues raging at our hearts. We are being pulled on all sides. We are only trying not to lose the center. Permit me to say that I send my greetings to the true countrymen of Nigeria in these trying times that we are passing through. Even if some of us are outside Nigeria, we can feel the heat. We stand in solidarity with you. Let us remain focused, even with the turning out of things, the response of the government to our agitations. Let us remain focused and hope that we will win at the end. Um, let's remain strong. Let's remain strong. Let us see how we can re-strategize and find way to speak to the government. For now, please stay safe. Today's reading will be quite short because I do not really feel happy. I do not feel so happy about the news online regarding End SARS. A dear friend of mine reinterpreted what SARS means, and I think I resonate with that. And that is social acrimony coming from redundant systems. There are lots of redundant systems within our nation, Nigeria. And I want to say, let us end all social acrimony arising from redundant systems. Let us create the new Nigeria. Thank you. So in a solemn manner, we just read a few paragraphs just to mark today. And I hope that you will understand with me. Please stand with Nigeria. Show your love to us. Thank you very much. So today is week 20 of the reading of the book, and I want to quickly talk about read from here regarding cellular replacement. All right, so let us look at Qigong from this perspective of examining how we breathe, the way we inhale, taking in oxygen, and the way we exhale, breathing out carbon dioxide. Every minute we expel a great deal of carbon from our body through exhalation. Carbon is a material in a physical form which can be seen. The question is, where is the carbon coming from in our body? Through breathing, how much carbon is actually processed out? So here the reader is trying to show us that the first source of carbon is from the food, glucose that we eat, and when this food is converted into energy through chemical reaction during our daily activities, carbon dioxide is produced. So we have a general representation showing glucose taking on 6 molecules of oxygen to release 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and then 6 molecules of water. And the energy is minus 686 kilocalories because it is sending out energy. Okay, it's negative. The second source of this carbon comes from the dead cells in our body. We already know that the majority, like 96% of our body, is constructed from the elements carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, while other elements such as calcium, potassium, chloride, sulfur, potassium, sodium, magnesium, iodine, and iron comprise much less of our body weight. This means that the cells in our body contain a great amount of carbon. In addition, let's consider that every cell in our body has a lifespan, and as many as 1 trillion cells die in our body every 24 hours. For example, we know that the lifespan of a skin cell is 28 days. Naturally, living cells such as those of the bone, marrow, liver, and so on have their own individual lifespan. We rely on our respiration to bring the carbon, that is dead cells, out and to supply living cells with new oxygen through inhalation. And new carbon sources, water and other materials, minerals from eating. We supply this to the body. All this aids in the formation of new cells to maintain and continue life. From the foregoing, we can conclude that the cell replacement process, described as metabolism, is ongoing at all times during our lifetime. Metabolism is broken into anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism is building up while catabolism is breaking down. So there is a turnover rate, something that must be balanced, referred to as homeostasis. Okay. Um, Health depends on how smoothly and how quickly this replacement process is carried out. If there are more new healthy cells to replace the old cells, we can live and grow. If the cells replaced as healthy, if they are as healthy as the original cells, we can remain young. Okay? However, if there are fewer cells produced, or if the new cells are not as healthy as the original cells, we begin to age. Let us now try to analyze Qigong from this point of view of cell replacement. According to this author, says, in order to produce a good healthy cell, first we must consider the materials needed. From the structure of a cell, we know that we need hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen, and other minerals which we can absorb either from air or food, and therefore the air quality, water purity, and the choice of food become critical factors for our health and longevity. These are like lifestyle things that we can influence. So naturally, this has also been a major component of Qigong study. However, we know that air and water quality today has been contaminated by pollution. This is especially bad in big cities and in industrial areas. The quality of the food we eat depends on its source and processing methods. Naturally, it is not easy to find the same pristine environments as in ancient times. However, we must learn how to fit into our new environment and choose our way of life wisely. Since carbon comprises such a major part of our body, how to absorb good quality carbon is an important issue in modern health. We may obtain carbon from animal products or from plants. Generally speaking, the carbon taken from plants is more pure and clean than that taken from animals. According to past experiences or past experience and analysis, red meat is generally more contaminated than white meat and is able to disturb and stimulate our emotional mind and confuse our thinking. So red meat is generally more contaminated than white meat and is able to disturb and stimulate our emotional mind and then confuse our thinking. Another source from which animal products can be obtained is fish. Again, some kinds of fish are good while others may be bad. For example, shrimp, though low in calories, has a high cholesterol content, which may increase the risk of high blood pressure. And we know all this issue of high mercury content in fishes. We have to also take note of that, and also pollution of biodiversity, especially of the water bodies. We now see pieces of plastic or even large sizes of plastic ingested by um, animals, water animals. So we have to also put this in mind. Now, due to the impurities contained in most animal products, since ancient times, Qigong practitioners learned how to obtain from plants. It is both inexpensive and easy to grow plants. Um, if you realize that the plants you want to eat is not uh, proposed for bioremediation, because we know that some peanuts, beans, and groundnuts, okay, some of the times they are meant for bioremediation so as to absorb the metallic components or some other chemicals in a soil ahead of planting the actual some other plants that are intended. So we should also pay attention to that. So when we eat the peas or beans, we should pay attention to realize that they are not the kind of peas or beans that were intentionally planted for bioremediation. Soybean is one of the best of these sources. It is both inexpensive and easy to grow. However, if you are not a vegetarian originally, then it can be difficult for your body to produce the enzymes needed to digest an all vegetable diet immediately. And that is why, if you want to convert, in quote, to be a vegetarian, don't just switch over directly. You can introduce it stage by stage, gradually, before you switch totally to all vegetarian diet. So now, because humans we evolved as omnivores and the craving for meat can be strong, even till today uh, we still have our canine teeth, which were used to tear off raw meat in ancient times. It's funny as it is. Therefore, the natural enzymes existing in our bodies are more tailored to digesting meat. In an experiment, if we place a piece of meat and some corn in human digestive systems as enzymes, we will see that the meat will dissolve in a matter of minutes, while the corn will take many hours. This only shows that it is generally easier for a human to absorb meat rather than plants as protein source. However, this does not mean that we absolutely cannot absorb plant protein efficiently. The key is that if it is present to begin with, the enzyme production can be increased within our body, but it will take time. For example, if someone cannot drink milk due to insufficient lactose in the stomach, he may start by drinking a little bit of milk every day and slowly increase it as days pass by. And then we realize that the person is able to absorb milk, say about 6 months later. This means that if we wish to become a vegetarian, we must begin to reduce the intake of meat products slowly to allow our body to adjust to it. Otherwise, we may experience protein deficiency. Other than a protein source, we must also consider minerals. Although they do not comprise a large proportion of our body, their importance in some ways is more significant than carbon. We have micronutrients, we have macronutrients. These minerals are needed in different proportions depending on daily requirements. So we know, for example, that calcium is an important element for our bones and iron is crucial for blood cells. Therefore, when we eat, we must consume a variety of foods instead of just a few. We say eat the rainbow. The more colorful our food is, the more abundant the required minerals, nutrients um, that we have access to in that kind of a food. So the food should not be, as it were, monotonous. It should not be a boring kind of food. Variety is a spice of life, it is said. Okay, so how to absorb nutrition from food has been an important part of Qigong or Qigong study. So, in order to produce healthy cells, other than the concerns of the material side, we must also consider energy that we can derive from the food we eat. We must understand that when we age quickly, often it is not because we are malnourished, but instead it is due to the weakening of our key storage and circulation. Without an abundant supply of key, which we say is bioelectricity, key circulation will not be regulated efficiently, and therefore our life force will weaken and the physical body will degenerate. In order to have abundant key storage, therefore, we should practice Qigong in order to build up the Qi in our eight vessels and also to lead the Qi circulating in our body. This kind of Qigong training includes Waidan, which is the external elixir, those physical art form exercises we do. We move our physical limbs and then it leads Qi inwardly. We have explained this before. And also include Neidan, which is internal elixir practice. The things we do, moving our visceral organs, coordinating our breathing, okay, to generate Qi within the core of our body, and then the Qi is led outwardly to the skin, to the limbs. Those ones are internal elixir. So they are soft. It may require less movement, but movement of the abdomen coordinated with the breathing, okay, subtle movement that generates Qi that is led to the limbs. For example, in Taekwondo is a combination of both. So when you breathe in, then you are breathing out, you execute your kick or your punch to synchronize or harmonize with the outward breath, with your exhalation. So you combine both. We have talked about this in chapter 1. So, other than the concern for materials needed and the key required for cell production and replacement, the next thing we should ask ourselves is how this replacement process is carried out. The entire replacement process depends on the blood cells. From Western medicine, we know that a blood cell is a carrier of water, oxygen, and nutrients to everywhere, every part of the body through the circulatory system. From arteries and capillaries, the components of new cells are brought to every tiny place in the body. The whole cells then absorb everything required from the bloodstream and divide to produce new cells. The dead cells are brought back through the veins to the lungs, and through respiration, the dead cell materials are expelled as carbon dioxide. However, there is something missing from the last process. This is the key, or the bioelectricity, that is required for the biochemical process of cell division. It has been proven. Please, anyone online to tell me, I see my video is hanging. Any feedback, please? If you can give me a feedback, I will appreciate it. Thank you. So, it has been proven that every blood cell is actually like a dipole or a small battery, which is able to store bioelectricity and also to release it. This means that each blood cell is actually a carrier of Qi. Okay, our blood carries oxygen. The hemoglobin of the blood carries oxygen. So the breath, the Qi, they are in the blood. So the blood is the life, and the vital life force resides in it. Please, is my video hanging or not? I need someone to give me a feedback, please. It's hanging here right now. I wouldn't know if it's also hanging over there as you are watching. Alright, thank you. So, this is also understood in Qigong and Chinese medicine. The blood and the Qi are always together. Where there is blood, there is Qi, and when there is Qi, the blood will also be there. That's why they say ki sue. Ki sue. That is ki and blood. If we look at our blood circulatory system, we can see that the arteries are located deep underneath the muscles, while the veins are situated near the skin surface. So when we say that ki is led outwardly towards the skin, that's one thing we can picture in our mind. The color of the blood is red in the arteries because of the presence of oxygen, and its color is darker red or dark red in the veins, both because of the absence of oxygen and because of the presence of carbon. No, that is deoxygenated blood. All right. So this implies that cell replacement actually happens from inside of the body moving outward. So when we breathe in and we have deep breath, subtle, smooth, we breathe into the abdomen, okay, we are able to nourish the whole of our body with the freshness of our breath. And the ki that is so generated can be led outwardly to our skin. So we can use the mind to guide our breath to any part of our body. I said it before, and in some one-on-one sessions with the people I've been able to um, hold sessions with, I say you can use your mind to lead your breath, guide your breath to any part of your body. If you have stress build-up, or you have pain in any part of the body, all you need is to visualize. Let your breath meet that pain in that area of your body, and then add your touch to that pain. That way, you can breathe into the pain using the touch therapy as well, and then you can guide your mind to dissipate the pain, to clear the ki blockage. Okay, so it's all about guiding your breath, using your mind to lead the ki to any part of your body. So this can also offer us a hint that if we tense more, the blood circulation will be more stagnant. When we are tensed, our blood circulation becomes stagnant, leading to ki blockage, leading to tension in certain parts of our body, joints, and others. It can affect our emotions, can affect our spiritual state. So when blood circulation becomes stagnant, cell replacement will become slower. We can also conclude that most cell replacement occurs in the night when we are at our most relaxed state during sleep. One more reason why sleep is very, very important, and our light dark cycle should be obeyed as much as we can. Reducing the night light is a good thing for a balanced or well regulated melatonin. This can further lead one to conclude the importance of sleep. So, if we accept that blood cells are the carriers of everything which is required for cell replacement, then we must also consider the healthy condition of our blood cells. If we have good health and a sufficient quantity of blood cells, then the nutrients and ki can be carried to every part of the body efficiently. We will be healthy. However, if we do not have sufficient blood cells, or the quality of the cell is poor, or the quality of our breath is poor, then the entire cell replacement process will be stagnant. Naturally, we begin to degenerate swiftly, begin to age fast. According to modern medical science, blood cells also have a lifespan. When the old ones die, new ones must be produced from the bone marrow. Bone marrow is a major blood factory. From medical reports, it's been known that normally, after a person reaches age 30, the marrow near the ends of the bone cavity turns yellow. This indicates that fat has accumulated there, and it means that red blood cells are no longer being produced in the yellowed area. Chinese Qigong practitioners believe that the degeneration of the bone marrow is due to insufficient Qi supply. Therefore, bone marrow washing Qigong was developed, where you breathe into your bone marrow to nourish, especially the endings of the bone, to make sure that bone marrow is healthy and can produce healthy blood cells. So from experience, it's been known that through bone marrow washing Qigong practice, health can be improved and life can be extended significantly. Alright, so if you're interested to learn more, you can pick up the book Qigong, The Secret of Youth. It's published by YMAA. So the next important thing in human life is the hormone production within our bodies. From medical science, we know that hormones act as catalysts in the body. When the hormone levels are high, we are more energized and cell replacement can happen faster and more smoothly. When hormone production diminishes, then the cell replacement will be slow and we will age quickly. It was only in the last 2 decades that scientists discovered that by increasing the hormone levels in the body, we may be able to extend our life significantly. So maintenance of hormone production in a healthy manner has been a major concern in Chinese Qigong society. We have hormone therapies for different age-related diseases and even for aging itself. And right now, people are stepping into the arena of stem cell therapy. This life extension program and longevity is getting more interesting, I will say. Okay, so according to Chinese medicine, the glands that produce hormones were recognized since ancient times. Across other traditions too, hormones were not understood actually. However, through thousands of years of practice and experience, the ancients understood that the essence of life is stored in the kidneys, the internal kidneys, the real kidneys. Like I said, Qigong or Chinese medicine refer to the gonads as external kidneys, and they are linked to water. Okay, the water balance in the body, homeostasis, the fluids, and all. Today we know that this essence is actually the hormones produced from the adrenal glands on the top of the kidneys. The Chinese also believed that through the stimulation of the testicles and ovaries, the gonads, the life force could be increased. Actually, they had the kidneys, real internal kidneys and the external kidneys, testicles and ovaries. The way we can stimulate them can increase their vibration and can extend um, our lives. The life force can be increased and then can benefit our lifespan. The testicles and the ovaries are considered as external kidneys, like I said, in Chinese Qigong and in the medical societies. In addition, from still meditation practice, they learned how to lead the key to the brain and raise up the spirit of vitality. It has also been found that through practice, bioelectricity can be led to the pituitary gland to stimulate growth hormone production. All of these practices are believed to be effective paths to longevity. From medical science, we know that our hormone levels are significantly reduced when the last pieces of our bones are completed between ages 29 and 30. Theoretically, when our body has completed constructing itself, it somehow triggers the reduction of our hormone levels. From this, we can see that maintaining the hormone levels in our body may be a key to longevity. Finally, in order to prevent ourselves from becoming sick, we must also consider our immune system. According to Chinese medicine and Qigong, when Qi storage is abundant, we get sick less. If we take a careful look, we can realize that every white blood cell is just like a fighting soldier. Okay? So if we do not have enough Qi to supply it, its fighting capability will be low. It is just like a soldier who needs food to maintain his strength. When the Qi is strong, however, the immune system is strong. Therefore, the skin breathing technique was developed within the Qigong Society, which teaches a practitioner to lead the Qi to the surface of the skin in order to strengthen the guardian Qi. The guardian Qi is like an energetic component of the immune system near the skin surface, more like a ball and aura that surrounds us. Okay, so from the foregoing, hopefully the writer thinks he has offered us a challenge for profound thought and further research. Although most of these conclusions are drawn from his personal research, further study and verification is still needed. He deeply believed that if we can all open our minds and share our opinions together, we will be able to make our lives more healthy and meaningful. Now, to close for today, like I said, in solidarity with my fellow countrymen in Nigeria, I have decided to keep today's session quite short so that I can go back to following the happenings with the protesters and remain in prayer, sending them positive vibrations and hoping that they will be safe and praying for their safety as well. So let's look at breathing, Qigong, and health to round up for today. According to Chinese Qigong Society, Qi can be distinguished as upper level Qi, Shang Seng Qi, or external Qi, Wai Qi. And then the second one, lower level Qi, Xia Seng Qi, or inner Qi, Nei Qi. These two levels of Qi are separated by the diaphragm. While the upper level manages the exchange of the external Qi, the lower level governs the production and storage of the inner Qi. The nose is the entrance and exit of the upper level Qi. The diaphragm is the pump, and the lungs manage and process this Qi. The abdomen and yin are the pump and piston to produce and store the inner Qi at the lower dantian, which is the gut or the second brain. Okay? We may already have figured out that the hair is actually the external Qi. The hair is called Kong Qi, which means the Qi in space. Qi here implies the energy existing in space. The bioelectricity which is stored at the lower dantian and circulating in the body is called inner Qi. So from the scientific point of view, these two keys cannot be separated, though they are not directly related. We should understand that the entire body's inner Qi is produced from the biochemical reaction process. The body's energy is metabolized from food. Remember, we said glucose takes on 6 molecules of oxygen to give us 6 molecules of CO2 and 6 of H2O, releasing 686 kilocalories of free energy. So the energy produced is converted into different forms of energy. We said energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but can be changed from one form to another. So it can be changed to different forms of energy such as bioelectricity, which is called Qi, can be changed to heat, can change to light in the body. For this process, the quantity of oxygen is one of the most crucial elements necessary to complete the transformation of glucose into energy. That is why whenever we need to manifest stronger force for exertion, such as lifting a heavy weight or pushing a car, We must first inhale deeply to take in more oxygen. Only then can the inner energy be manifested to a significant level. In Taoist society, the space above the diaphragm, that is the lungs, is considered as a chamber where the external ki is exchanged. The nose is the entrance and the exit, while the diaphragm is a piston or the pump of this chamber. The space below the diaphragm down to the groin area is considered to be the chamber, real lower dantian of the inner ki. Here, inner ki can be built up and stored to an abundant level through correct pumping movement of the abdominal area and the yin cavity. So, if the up and down movement of our abdomen is properly coordinated and the perineum yin is working coordinatedly, we can build up ki and store it within our real lower dantian. We can see the importance of breathing and how it can be so crucial in Qigong practice. If our breathing is shallow, the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide will not be completed. Naturally, cell replacement will not be fully accomplished. This is one of the major causes of sickness and aging. So I stop here for today. Thank you to everyone who joined me on this live session, and to those who will take time to watch later. I say thank you. For Nigerians on Nigerian soil, I say to you, please stay safe out there. Know that we are with you, and the new Nigeria we deserve shall be birthed by the grace of God. The government is going to listen. They have taken steps to talk. Let us also go back to our drawing board and see how we can engage them. We don't want lives to be lost. We want to be in the new Nigeria together to enjoy our dream come true. We keep praying for you and we are with you. God be with you. While we are alive, let's keep breathing. Let's keep breathing appropriately. And let us divert our energy to a good cause. We end all social acrimony arising from redundant system by the grace of God. I send to you positive vibes all the way from Argentina. One love. Thank you so much. God bless.